Hello everyone, peace of Christ to all. In this video we'll see, this is a breaking news from Fox News. I will play it for you. This is just a minute ago. In here they will show you a picture from Reuters news agency, and this is a different picture which is the original. If you go back in here, you will see this is the image they post for everybody to see, and you will see they crop the picture and they zoom in, so the guy who is holding the knife, he will not show. And very clear, the soldier is really bleeding. You can tell in here, especially in this area. This is not a hit of just something, something bad happening here. So what they did, they posed those pictures in their news, but they did not show the original one. You will see now the original one. This is where they hide the picture, the side of it. Here we go. Look at this big knife. This is a big knife. This is a knife, you use it for army. This is not a kitchen knife. This is not a kitchen knife. This is you take with you for hunting, for fighting, but this is not a kitchen knife. This is a long knife and can kill a man easy. Why they edit the picture and why they zoom in? Why the media in the West became very filthy? This is what will happen when you hire those Hamas and the Muslims in your news agency. Your news agency is going to turn to Hamas news agency. The same as BBC. Go to the BBC. They will never say one bad thing about Hamas or about Hezbollah or about the Muslims. What they will post only, everything is either against the Christians or the Jew. It's controlled 100% by the Muslims. And the others who they work there, they turn potato, they don't dare to say anything. Who wanna fight the Muslims anyway? Those European, they became people without teeth. So they do edit the news everywhere. This is not only a Reuters news. Trust me, this will happen in everywhere, wherever. And I am sure that the journalist from that news agency is hired and chosen by the Muslims, which means, okay, you want to send with us a journalist, we will choose his name. We will choose his name. Who will pick up our guy? And this is what happened. They choose the one, he is one of them, a terrorist like them. Otherwise, give me a reason why they're doing that. A news agency, their job is to give the truth, not to play with it. And always, this is what happened. They switch the truth upside down. This is why they make me sick. I spit on them, and shame. And they give you a speech about, we are the one who just don't take a side. We are just a news agency, and we are Western. When you listen to, Reuters news agency, you say it's a Reuters. This is not Hamas. The fact it's Hamas. It is Hamas. Because they will not allow in the ground, the Muslims, anyone to be with them unless he is a supporter of them, to guarantee that everything will go the way they want. Watch and spread the video and expose those filthy. Christ is Lord, Islam is false, and a lot of media these days is owned by terrorists. See ya.
Alert for you now on new questions about the news coverage of an Israeli raid. Now, this raid involved, you know this story. It involved a convoy that was reportedly carrying relief supplies to Palestinians in Gaza. And the accusations involved Reuters news service. Okay, now you remember this. This got international attention. The pro-Palestinian groups were breaking the Israeli blockade of Gaza. And the Israelis told them, don't go any further. All right, they disregarded those orders and they plunged forward. The Israelis boarded the ships, and on one ship, those Israeli soldiers were attacked. 9 people wound up dead, and the Israelis were blamed. Now, we see this photo, okay, from Reuters. This is a photo from last week's deadly raid of that ship bound for Gaza. Here you can see one of the Israeli soldiers on the deck of the ship, bloodied and fighting with someone. Now, Reuters ran this photo last week, okay? You see it? Look in particular on screen left here as you watch. Now look last week. This is the same photo coming up here. But take a look to your lower right. On one, you can see what appears to be someone holding a large knife. Do you see it there? See the large knife on the one shot, but not in the other? Now critics are blasting Reuters, accusing it of intentionally altering the photo and the story. And that's not all that's wrong with this photo. Trace Gallagher picks up the investigation from there.
And I want to make a couple of huge points right off the top, Megan. One, Reuters is based in the UK, and it reaches more than 1 billion people every single day. And many times in the past, Reuters has been accused of being anti-Israel and pro-Palestinian. And you talked about those photos. I want to run through them again if we can. I want to show the original and then the crop version and put them side by side. This is the original. This ran in a Turkish newspaper on Sunday. You see right there on the lower left-hand side of your screen, or right-hand side of your screen, you can see one of those so-called peace activists holding a knife. Well, then Reuters released pictures later on in the day, and this is the crop version.
Drop
we can
the lower
spot
third,
shadow it there. Yeah, drop that lower third. The knife is no longer visible. You can see that right there. Now let's put them side by side, because this is where the context is changed, right? If you have those pictures, and one there's a bloody Israeli soldier and a knife, and the other there's a bloody Israeli soldier and no knife. Now I want to go to the second set of pictures, because this was also released by Reuters. This, by the way, would be the crop version first. It shows them dragging an Israeli soldier. There's nothing there, right? There's nothing you see the Israeli soldier's left elbow laying on the ground. This is the original picture. You can clearly see there is a knife in the picture, and if you look directly below that knife, there is a puddle of blood. That was cropped out. We contacted Reuters today, and we got their comment, and it says the following. When we realized in the normal editorial process that a dagger was inadvertently cropped from the images, Reuters immediately moved the original set as well. But Megan, as I mentioned at the top, this is not the first time. When I was in northern Israel covering the war between Israel and Hezbollah back in 2006, Reuters was accused of doctoring a number of photos that make the Israeli Defense Forces look more aggressive. Reuters acknowledged and admitted, yes, those photographs had been doctored. They fired the photographer. They fired the photo editor. This time they have given us a statement concerning these pictures. As far as action against those involved, we have not yet heard about that. They're still saying this was all part of the normal editorial process. We will hear more about these pictures coming up, Megan.
Yeah, but it's relevant because those who supported the Palestinians said, these are peace activists on this boat. They're peace activists. And the Israeli Defense Forces said, as we boarded, and everybody saw that video, we were being attacked by knives and by steel rods and by other means. And now this picture, I mean, we've seen some video, but this picture clearly shows the Israeli soldier being held down, and then you see the knife by somebody who is very much in control right above him, in addition to another body nearby in a pile of blood. So that, obviously, from a journalistic perspective, would need to be included. All right, Trace Gallagher, following it for us. Trace, good work.